Hello, modern Canadian living enthusiasts. Welcome back for another one of our videos. It's spring, and it's spring weather today. Overcast skies, some rain here and there, a little bit of drizzle at the moment. But nonetheless, we still have things to do. Today's mission is going to be getting this temporary area ready, where our future garden will be one of them, ready for our broiler chickens, which will be arriving in a few weeks. So today the plan is to build their new shelter. We decided to go with the dog kennel this year, and we're going to go with the electric poultry netting around it. So stick around, as we got lots to do. Hello again. As always, hope you enjoyed our intro. Gone and moved all the pieces from the garage, taken it out of the box, brought them over here. The box was a little worse for wear, and we'll cover the reason for that later in the video. But we do have all the pieces that we're going to need to assemble the dog kennel, which is going to be acting as a chicken tractor, in place in our work area, so it's time to get cracking. So as you can see, we got it built just in time. The rain has come back and it's picked up a little bit. So we'll put our chores and our projects on hold for a little bit. But it is built. It is solid. Obviously, it is a dog kennel. And we're going to talk more about it as soon as the rain breaks. So stick around. Hello again. Looks like the rain has stopped, at least for now. Gives us a good opportunity to talk about this. So this is a dog kennel. It's not designed for chickens, not meant for chickens. But when you're trying to do things on a lower budget, you got to get creative, especially when it comes to little farms, farmettes, homesteading. You got to use your head, try to save money. Last year, we did a chicken/turkey tractor, and we still have it. We still utilize it. Showed everybody how it works. Went great. We built that style for ease of use. We can go in, got the wheels on the back to move it forward. This year, we wanted to try something different, and that's where this comes in. So this is a paw hut, 4 by 8 by 6 feet high dog kennel. As you saw when I assembled it at Meal and Go, pretty simple. Put the panels up, they screw together, kind of like a construction temporary fence, goes in place, move it around. Our plan with this is to use it as their shelter in combination with the electric chicken net that we got. We'll be showing you guys that in just a little bit. We plan to have this in an area, put the netting around it, and allow the birds to free range that way. The tractor has to be moved daily. Something like this, you can put them in an area and you can move them weekly. So again, it's about sustainability. And when I say sustainability, I'm not talking about the environment or longevity or anything like that. I'm talking about us getting up, getting out of bed, coming out here and doing our chores. If we don't make it easy, when we don't make it simple, we have a tendency to stop doing things, right? So we're trying something like this year. With it being a dog kennel, the holes are a little big. You can see I can get my hands in, so that's no good for chicks. The plan is to wrap it around with chicken wire. Again, chicken wire is only used to keep chickens in or out of things, not used for predator protection. That's where the thicker stuff comes in, and our electric poultry net that you guys are going to see in a little bit, like I said. So we're going to put this out, starting over here in the garden. We'll fence it off, give them about a 40-foot by 40-foot area that they can go through. They'll be able to forage, start their life, and then we'll move them along. At first, we're going to test it out with some of the chicks that we've been raising that you've seen in our other videos that we're keeping for our flock to expand it. But the plan is to have the broilers go in here once they arrive in about 4 weeks or so. They do have to spend a couple of weeks in the garage in the brooders, but when it's time for them to come out, this is where they'll be going. With its main purpose being a dog kennel, there are some things that work in our favor, some things that don't. Ease of setup, as you saw, goes together about half an hour to an hour, depending on the weather and how things go. But it does come with a latch, comes with the door. It also has on the door and on the other side, a swingable food dish. Food and water dish, I should say. Now, if this, there we go, get it there. If this was for a dog, it's so you can put the food and water in. We're not going to use them like that. We're going to use it instead as chicken doors. Being that when it's open, we'll put a spike to hold it like that. It will allow the birds in. It's just big enough to allow the chickens in and out without allowing other things in during the day if they do somehow get into the netting. The food and water dish that came with it, we're not going to be using. We will hang our normal chicken feeder and chicken waterer in here. And that's kind of it. When we need to pick it up and move it, it's as simple as just walking inside, grabbing on either side, and just lifting it up. Just get up, 2 people, walk it forward to wherever you need to go. And that's it, that's all. Chicks have been moved and ready for their new foraging area and just to enjoy the outside. there you have it. Kind of hard to see on camera, but we got the chicken wire wrapped around the dog kennel, which is going to be acting as the temporary enclosure for the broilers. It is a bit bigger, but again, this is just to keep the chickens inside and not to deal with anything with predators. That's what the electric fence will be for. So right now I'm just going to go around, cut all the zip ties that are sticking out, finish tucking some of this in, and then we'll be ready for the next step. And just like that, it's all done, put together. We even have our little chicken door down here, like this. And this, chickens can go in and out, just the right size for them. When we're done at night, we can easily lock them up, and that's it, and that's all. We went with chicken wire. It's not the strongest thing. We could have gone with hardware cloth, but our plan is to actually disassemble this comes fall, put it away for the winter. Not something we'd want to leave outside, rust quicker. The tarp, as an example, would just fade and get destroyed. So something like this is better to put away when it comes to the end of the season. That's exactly what we'll be doing. We'll cut all the zip ties off. We'll take all the chicken wire, roll it up, put it away with all the panels, stick it away for next season, so it's ready for its next use. This is pretty much ready to go. I am going to add some roosts in here just to give them a couple of places to perch. But the next phase is going to be to shift this over a bit, unwrap the garden behind me, and then put up the electrified chicken fence to keep these ones protected. So stay tuned. You may be wondering if something like this is as sturdy as our existing chicken tractor. And the answer is no. This is definitely not as sturdy. It's not as predator proof as the existing chicken/turkey tractor. The hardware cloth, the cattle panels, the wood on that, it's a lot stronger. This needs to be used with something like an electric fence or in a protected area where predators aren't going to get to them. Left alone at night without an electric fence, they would easily get in here. They would be able to get through this, no problem. And these little welded bars, they would be most likely able to bend and break, get in, and there goes what's in there, right? So if you're going to do something like we're doing here, make sure you have another layer of protection. It's kind of like an onion. To quote Shrek and all that.
Ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No. Layers.
So we need to have layers for our security. This is one of the inner layers, the outer layer being the electrified perimeter fence. So when you're looking at different types of chicken/turkey tractors or dog kennels that'll forever be known as chicken/turkey tractors, you got to consider these things. Our plan with this, like I said, is to have it in an area, the electric fence around it. We'll move it weekly versus the other chicken tractor that you guys saw in last year's videos. You'll see it again in this year's too. We've got to move that daily. So trade-off in the setup. But all in all, they come out to about the same cost, especially when you look for deals. We looked around for a deal. We waited till this went on special, and that's when we pulled the trigger and purchased it. The same with the electric fence and the energizer for the fence. We shopped around, waited. Amazon had some specials, and that's when we decided to go with it. And let's just get on board and start this up. So if you're shopping around, it really can help you save money. If you're not needing it like right away, like we started planning this last year. So we looked over several months. Once the prices got down to a good spot, pulled the trigger, like I said, purchased. So you got to think smart. You don't always have to just jump on the gun, plan it out. You can do things a little differently. This is a dog kennel that we're going to repurpose, like I said. Think outside the box. So as you can see, now we have moved over the 2 black sex lynx roosters that are up for adoption and rehoming. We've moved them over to our new structure, the chicken tractor, formerly known as a dog kennel. We do have sides that we will be putting up in just an hour or so on this side. On this side, we're going to have some tarps just to cut down on the weather and the wind. But we got the boys in here testing it out. And that means that where they were in the chicken/turkey tractor, we are going to move over some others and get them acclimated to the outdoors. Still more to do. And just like that, the group that was down there now finds themselves out in the chicken tractor / turkey tractor. Now it's got a new name. It's acting as the temporary home for some of our new flock mates. They are definitely so much happier. They'll get to explore, further acclimate to the weather and outside, especially with the sun coming out, as you can see in the background. Makes for some happy chickens. So it's day 2 of our little adventure outside here. Now we're going to put the tarps on. The boys went in earlier this morning. They've been testing it out. They've given us the A-OK. So we're going to put one of these on each side, just to kind of do like the chicken tractor, make it a tunnel, allow the air to go through, but do give them protection from the elements. So we're going to add these. We went with white. You can go with any color that you choose. We always like the white ones. We find it looks better and it kind of helps bounce off the sun a bit more. So let's get these installed on our chicken tractor that was formerly known as the dog kennel. And there you have it. We got the tarps installed on both sides. Keeps them protected from the elements. Also gives them a little bit of shade, but still allows air movement through their temporary chicken tractor, formerly known as the dog kennel. Still got some other things to do, like putting up the electrified chicken net and the energizer for it, but that'll be in our next video. So again, think outside the box. Think about using different items, repurposing, or using something that may not be intended for its purpose, but it may work for chickens. All things to consider. Until next time, and before the wind takes my camera away, take care, everyone.